Yeah, tonight, unfortunately, Alex won't be joining us. He has other things, other engagements, unfortunately, real life engagements. And Naomi might join us later at an appropriate time. So we're gonna pick off pick on where we left off. And JK, you just walked into your haven. You're standing in your entrance way, and you just had a vision depicting a puppet master pulling your strings. And the first thing I actually need you to do is roll a sense the unseen with wits. So wits and auspics.
Well, let's start strong.
And your difficulty is 4, but you can leave it at 2 if you want to.
Yeah. I'm a reroll with willpower.
Yeah, you're gonna gain some in a moment, anyways.
Willpower reroll.
3. So 5
successes.
5.
Yeah.
Very nice.
As you enter, you feel a presence in your haven, and it's not long before when you enter your living room or your library. I'm not sure about the layout, but where you would sit and read or get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is sitting obfuscated in a chair, and he notices that you see him and become visible. It's Henry, the Nosferatu. He smiles at you with his long and crooked, sharp teeth, and says, "Oi, oi, mate.
What are you doing in my haven?
I have something for you. If you're willing to trade, of course.
Trade with what?
Or just a minor thing. I just need you to go somewhere and put something inside the server at a time that I feel like it's appropriate. But I feel like the information that I have is something that one of your clan would very much like to know. Obviously, if there's anything else we can deal."
Sure, hit me.
So you agree to do this boon for me?
Why not?
There's a special location in London. Something I've talked with other members of your clan. They are quite interested in it. It's called the Westminster Bridge House. Does that ring any bells for you?
Does that ring any bells for me?
You can do a intelligence and academics.
Hell yeah.
This is an hour before dawn, by the way.
3 successes.
3? 3 is okay. It's as you recall, it used to be a train station for the dead. So in the 1800s or so, in London, they used to ship out the dead via trains that was only for corpses, and it's now it's not a train station anymore, but the location is still there, in between 2 buildings.
Okay. That is good to know.
I feel like you might find something interesting there. It takes someone of your abilities to actually properly enter the place.
Okay. That is well and good to know.
We
Now
have to
what-
stick together as low clans.
That is agreeable.
I'm gonna send you something at some point with instructions.
Okay.
Is there anything else you are willing to trade? Any information you need?
Not really. Please just get out of my haven.
He vanishes before your eyes, and you see the blurred figure leave your haven.
After he leaves, I'm just gonna lock the door.
Is there anything you want to do before you lie down?
I want to check on my touchstone.
Which one?
The one in my haven. Just to see if it's still there and intact.
Yes, very much. See, she is where you left her,
Good to know.
hidden
Then
and undisturbed.
and I'll go sleep.
Alrighty.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Hidden and undisturbed. Ah!
is she intact? It's like, whoa, that's
Still with the
awesome.
correct amount of limbs would be like the only other weird thing that you could say at that.
That's so cool. That's rad. That's rad.
Nice.
You all get your willpower back, equal to either your composure or your resolve, whichever is the highest.
Nice.
And I don't think any of you have aggravated, so.
Nope.
I have to ask you, Vaughn, where are you sleeping tonight?
Vaughn, is that
Yeah.
what you said?
Yeah.
With the Anarchs.
Oh, right.
Mm.
Good thing I remember things. I think we're actually gonna start off with you then.
Okay.
You wake up. The bar is not open yet, which is a bit unconventional. Bars usually, or pubs are usually open pretty early in Britain. But this is a vampire establishment, so there's gonna be a few hours where people can wake up and do their thing before the public are let in. You're sleeping on the stage behind a set of drums at the moment. And as far as you can see, you are the only one in the room.
And Vaughn's gonna like look around a little bit, and he's just gonna listen in, like if there's any conversations going on. Oh, do I have to do a rouse check, by the way?
Oh, you all have to do one.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Yay.
Failure.
Ooh, hunger gain. No.
Oh, well. Let's start with the beast then.
This.
How much are you at now, 2?
Yeah, I'm at 2.
You're still riding the bus from yesterday, because you haven't fed yet, so you're still in quite a good mood. You just hear the beast yawning in your head, waking up, and you almost feel it like shaking awake inside you. It's quite a weird feeling, but it's very much there and present. I'll get to your Killjoy when we shift scenes. You listen around. You can hear footsteps outside in the hall or the wardrobe area. Slight footsteps, and you hear a door opening. You assume it's the door into Scarlett's office.
Oh, like the next room over?
Yeah.
From the bar? Okay. And I just kind of like do like a nice little like stretch, do like the whole thing, and then get up and leave the bar room hall and then go into Scarlett's room. The room
Yep.
that we were at yesterday.
At first, no one is there. It's dark in the room. It's a little bit too dark. The smells of incense and other things are still in there, obviously. You hear footsteps from above. Someone wandering around the first floor. But once your eyes adjust to the darkness, you see a woman sitting behind the desk. She's just looking at you, smiling, her legs crossed on top of the table, and she's almost twiddling her thumbs. She's It looks like she's waiting for you to see her, and once you do, she just nods at you. You recognize her. She was the woman Nathaniel chased up the stairs, Marin, who's supposedly a La Sombra.
And Vaughn just kind of looks at her and he's like, "Well, hello there. I didn't see you."
That was the point. The
So-
shadows in here are very thick. It's very unnatural. It's not as bright as it's supposed to be, even though there are no lights on. It's very dim. You can barely see her.
You know, it's interesting. I wasn't sure if I was going to wake up today. Isn't that funny?
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know. Well, I usually try to avoid kindred when it comes to sleeping. But, you know, I hope this doesn't sound clannish, but I've never been under the same roof as the Sombra before.
Oh, we're safe here. If Gabriel vouched for you, they're gonna feel his wrath if they do anything under his roof. So, when you,
By they, do you mean you as well?
I mean, he has extended his hospitality to me, so obviously I'm not gonna do anything to mess that up.
Hell yeah. Then we have an accord then. I'm kind of in the same boat as well.
But no Anak. I haven't seen you around before.
I've been around. I go from place to place. I try to keep a low profile except under the right conditions, if you catch my drift.
As we should. It's a belief that I have, or at least acquired, within the last few years. It changed my affiliations. The Sabbat are not subtle.
Oh, that's definitely true.
And
You know, I actually did a few jobs for them a few times. I used to drive let's just say I'm very good at acquiring vehicles. And what I would do is I would act as a driver and I would go to certain places. I've made my drop-offs of, I guess, what they would call shovel heads to certain locations. It's really funny though, because then I'd get another call like an hour and a half later from the Camarilla asking me to collect bodies of a recent Sabbat attack and drive away. So I just bring the same box truck back. It was really funny. And that worked out. Paid 2 jobs. I was paid for both. Worked out pretty good.
be careful
So-
who you share that with. Someone might hold a grudge.
Ah,
You know how the elders can be.
oh, of course. Of course.
But here we're pretty tolerant.
That's why I figured.
I mean,
I don't know. Mm-hmm.
but with the rise of the Second Inquisition, we all had to kind of change our priorities, and I feel like a lot of the Sabbat members will realize this in time. I certainly feel a lot of my clan are starting to lean more and more towards the other sex.
Well, that's good. That's definitely good. I feel, as an outsider's perspective, I feel your strength is wasted with the Sabbat. Not that it really matters to me,
Well, if
but I thought I'd just say that.
if we all leave, they're gonna lose the Sword of Cain. I mean, they have the Shimishi, but they're more behind the scenes. And
That type of thought is a bit above my pay grade. I'm just saying.
oh, mine too. I used to be a shovelhead and was
Oh, I hope
promoted.
Ooh,
For-
so you didn't die the first night.
I was quite resourceful.
I can tell.
That's how we do it. We embrace more than one and see who survives. And I was the one.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad.
So am I.
Not to pry, why is it that you and your sister are different clans?
I think you're thinking of Scarlet, right? Out of character.
Oh, am I saying the wrong? Yes, out of character. The blonde one, aren't they both sisters? Like by
Scarlet
blood?
and Elaine, yes.
Yes. Oh, okay, yeah. Then I was wrong. I take that. I never said that.
It's fine.
Sorry.
I just reminded you it's a lot of names.
Forgive me. But and it just goes like that blonde one. I like her.
Well, she's her mind is a bit addled, but she's kind.
The best people are always like that, in my experience.
They have Nathaniel and his children. They have a weird relationship with their humanity. All of them. I think you have maybe noticed that except for Scarlet, they can seem a bit robotic.
Yeah, not the most enthusiastic crowd. So, but they seem all right. I mean, they haven't tried to kill me yet, so that's pretty good.
I don't think they will, unless you step on their toes.
Well,
Nathaniel only seems keen to keep the Masquerade, so as long as you do that.
oh no, I'm good. I'm doing just fine with that. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna jump scene now, and then you can think on how you would like to continue. Killjoy, you wake. You hear music from upstairs. It's a normal night for you. There's no note, nothing special when you wake. You just hear the jazz music from upstairs. Hear the sounds of people preparing for opening, and obviously they're not open yet, but that's you need time to wake.
Yeah. Killjoy will go over to their computer and just kind of type up some notes from the day before, and then go upstairs, go talk to Ivy, who's the person who runs Alberto's mainly, and check in on if there's any financial stuff he needs to do, check in, and if anything interesting happened, basically make himself available, given that he was absent for the entirety of the day before. And yeah, make sure that nothing untoward has occurred, and ask about security and if anyone came in the previous night and left a note and anything like that.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Someone called before you arrived here, and they said, very cryptic, that some redhead was gonna stop by tonight. I don't know if that means anything to you.
Killjoy gets like a deadpan, but there's a slight smile at the corner of the lips. He said, great, thanks for letting me know, and he will keep the walkie-talkie that Alex has got near him, just in case. But other than that, he'll kind of actually breathe a sigh of relief and kind of go, maybe this can all go back to normal at some point.
Hopefully.
And begin to just let the jazz begin to take him away again. Go back to the thing he loves. And if like someone's tuning up and helping, he'll be involved in that, and he'll be moving around, and at some point stretching or something, he'll lean over and he'll feel something crumple in his pocket, and he'll pull out the envelope that he still hasn't opened of someone's name in it, and he will put it back in unopened, just not wanting to know what this blackmail is for now.
About 20 minutes passes,
Yeah.
and the whole establishment, all the staff, they turn and they look outside as a limousine arrives. And two huge guys step out first.
Yeah.
And in between them, a red-haired woman with two different eye colors. She's wearing a very, very, very beautiful red dress and her fur coat, the one she wore yesterday as well. It's Adrian Allar. She's sort of looking around, and how's the what's the word? Not the surface, the outside of your bar.
Oh, it is it's red brick and pretty much floor to ceiling windows. And across the top, it's got a classy neon sign of Alberto's Jazz Bar, and like the A and the S kind of turn into saxophones. At the front, there's kind of bits of music coming out, and it looks light and lively and energetic. And on the inside, it's got those long wooden tables with like red candles flickering on each of the tables, and bar stools rather than like comfy seats. This is a place that you don't recline and listen. You dance and you listen actively whilst doing stuff. And on the walls, there's all kind of hung records of previous people who've kind of played here, and the album that went double platinum, and someone's saxophone, and someone else. Yeah, it's a busy, bustling place, even when it's empty. Like, it's full of crap and detritus and paraphernalia, and it's light and alive, which is probably very different from the stark steel box that we last met in.
Oh yeah.
So it's about as different as you can get. Like, there's just a patchwork of wallpapers and patterns and shit.
Adrian was, of course, the one who was holding Alex's arm, and she disappeared all of a sudden when you last saw her, without memory of how it happened. She's looking around at the establishment from outside. She's having her hand like this, and there's a small handbag, and she starts walking towards the door, her hips swaying like she's walking on a runway, and she's wearing big ass sunglasses, and she's looking at one of her security, you assume, who pushes the door open for her. She's not going to touch it, and walks inside and just directly towards you.
Yeah, I'll be sitting at the bar. Yeah, we're waiting for her though.
Scott, dear, and she walks up, and if you let her, she will kiss you on each cheek. Very much diva. And
oh dear, Scott, is it? I'd wondered how much you'd already know, but I suppose it's too much to even keep that much hidden.
well, I can say,
How are you doing?
I can say Mr. Jones if you prefer.
That's both names already. Fantastic.
I have a job for you.
You have a job?
Is there anything where we can
talk more privately? Yes.
Exactly.
You wouldn't care for a drink or anything first?
No, I'm good.
Excellent.
I can't, unfortunately.
If you'll follow me, I am afraid that your muscle may have to remain here.
Oh, no worries. They'll stay outside. They take up so much space, and they're
I was going to say, they're impressively large guys.
It's just for show.
Isn't everything?
Most things.
And I'll lead her on.
Where are you taking her?
I'll take her down, not to my haven, but to the private downstairs.
Yeah.
And hope, who the fuck knows, but hopefully she won't know about the haven because it's all hidden. But yeah, I'll take her down to that little kind of underground railway bit, and I'll go and like. There's not many seats here, so I'll probably go and sit at the piano and hit a couple chords or something while she makes herself comfortable. Wait for her to speak when she's ready.
As that is happening, JK, you awake.
Mm-hmm.
You feel a strange pull. When you're awake, it's not your beast, but you feel like you're being pulled towards something. Like you have to go somewhere. You can resist it. It's just you feel like someone is trying to make you go a certain way or follow a certain path, which is a bit strange. It's not like anything you felt before.
JK is first gonna go check on his touchstone and just make sure everything is still as should be. And then he'll pick up his suit and his gun, because things have happened during the last night that made him a bit jumpy again. And then he'll slowly start following the pool.
It's very much you're walking through the streets of London and not quite aware of where you are, but all of a sudden, after maybe half an hour, you're not quite sure. You stand in front of a building with a sign that says, let me see where I got it, Westminster Bridge House.
Huh.
And it's a smaller house in between two larger buildings. There are no alleys. Seemingly nowhere to get around, no back door or anything. It's a gate at the front. But it's the pull is coming from there. You know that. You're not quite sure what it is, but you can roll an intelligence occult if you would like.
Yes, please. Da-da-da.
Four.
Over.
4 is good. It's you're 99% sure that it's the energy, I want to say, of oblivion. You feel it from in there. Like if the shroud is really thin, that's the feeling you get.
I will activate Sense the Unseen and move closer to the building, see if there's a lot of spooky stuff happening around.
Yeah.
Should I roll for a wit's awareness then, or?
Resolve, I think it is when it's active.
Oh yeah, wits and aspects or resolve and aspects. I think.
Yeah, just one of them. It's fine.
Yeah, either or.
5 of them with a Masquerade.
Yeah.
You see several spirits walking in and out of the building through the doors. And you become enthralled almost. You can't stop the pull, and you start walking towards the door. If you want to stop, you can obviously spend willpower, but otherwise you are being pulled towards the door. And you start hearing almost like 100 people are whispering in your ears at the same time. Inaudible voices, just... And it's pulling you.
Okay, let's go. JK will open the door and enter if it's open, that is.
As you start to suggest almost that you want to touch the door, it opens. It's almost like you have a force field that pushes the door open. You don't even touch it. It responds to something inside you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, JK will enter the door.
As the door opens, you see nothing but blackness. And you step over the threshold. And we jump back to Vaughn. Vaughn!
So what I do is like, well, thank you very much. This is to Marin. I apologize. I need to get going. It was nice talking with you. Be safe, even though I think this is probably one of the safest places you can be.
She just salutes you.
And he just goes, the Jack Sparrow. And then he just turns around and then walks out and goes out into the street and just kind of looks around, breathes in the air, and just kind of says to himself, I have a meeting, don't I? Yeah, I need to follow up on that. And then he will kind of walk to a more secluded area. Is there like a park in London? I'm not familiar with it.
Several.
Okay.
I'm just checking if there's... You are in the southeastern part of London at the moment. I know there's definitely someone somewhere in the north, but let me just check what the closest park to you is. Oh, Sumisu. Okay, there are various green areas. Yeah, you can find a park, most definitely.
Okay. And he will... Vaughn's gonna go to one of these parks, just kind of sit down on a bench, and just kind of like look up in the air, and then close his eyes. And I'd like to use Pharaoh Whispers, please.
Yes. What are
One
you
roused.
trying to do? Are you trying to summon, or are you trying to speak?
I'd like to do both, if possible.
Then it would be 2 rouse checks and 2 rolls.
Oh,
Unless you're... there are obviously animals around you. Maybe a rat, a few pigeons, a squirrel.
I wanted a little brown bat. That's what I want. A little brown bat.
Let's...
One rouse check per type of animal chosen for the scene allows one summoning and limited communication, free when used on Famulus. So would one rouse check cover both one summoning and unlimited communication?
I'm gonna
for
be
one
nice
scene?
and say yes, but it's a charisma and animalism roll
I can do that.
for summoning.
I can do that. Let's see here. I'm gonna just this. I'm just gonna do that real quick. And no modifiers.
Nope. Ooh. 1 is not enough. Do you want to re-roll 2 of them?
Yes, I would. And I forgot to do a rouse check real quick. I'll go ahead and do that.
Oof. Hungry boy.
Oh no!
You're not good with those.
So okay, so 3 hunger now, and I'm going to use one of my willpower.
And you can re-roll
then
2.
Reroll. So 2 total successes.
1 bat will appear.
That's what I wanted. I just wanted 1.
You hear the slight squeaking of it and the flaps of the wings. It's not large. It's not fully grown either, but it lands on your shoulder and crawls down into your armpit and snuggles. And what do you want to talk with it about you're sitting
Like,
on a
hello
bench
there.
and going.
Can I understand it? Is it like?
Yeah, obviously
Oh,
it's
that's cool.
obviously it's not intelligent as you are, so it's you can't ask it about anything it wouldn't know.
I got you. I'd be like, hey, how's it going? How are you tonight?
Good, hungry, not a lot of insects in the air. It's
Really?
cold, and it snuggles even like you're not warm, so it's just trying to find a warm place. Maybe get under your clothes a bit.
Yeah, I let him in the coat a little bit. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. I'll have to bring insects next time. That's so weird.
It's a bad time of year for them.
Yeah, yeah. Have you been watching Nadine's Place?
Who?
Oh, he wouldn't know, would he?
Unless you bring it.
No, I meant like Nadine.
Yeah, I know who you mean, but you would
okay, I
have
got
to
you.
present that bad to her,
I see what I mean.
and
I
then
see what
then
you-
it would know.
Okay, I gotcha. I have a question, if that's all right.
Of course.
I'm talking to the bat. I have an arrangement. I'd like to make an arrangement with you, my little friend.
Can you get me some food?
Yes. I'll get you some food now, but I'll get you more food if you do something for me.
Hmm.
And I proceed to tell this little bat where to go, where Nadine's house is, and I ask him to watch over the place and let me know if they see anything, because especially since the echolocation, they could probably see things that are not there as well. And I just... Mhm.
To describe the place, I think you would have to do a intelligence and animal ken.
Okay.
One,
Ah! Yeah.
you think it knows where it is,
Okay.
but you're not quite sure. And I also would like you to do a wits and awareness. Messy crit 4.
Yep.
It's actually not bad for this situation. The bat flies off, and all of a sudden you feel your beast inside you. It becomes scared, and you smell wet dog. But your beast does not want to be here, and you start walking, unless you want to restrain yourself by using willpower. But the beast is getting the fuck out of this park.
I would
Just-
like to use willpower if that's okay. I wanna try.
You can spend the
wanna try it.
willpower to regain control.
Do I just get rid of one?
Yeah, just
Okay.
just the superficial one.
All right. So yes. Okay.
Uh,
And I just kind of sit back on the bench and cross my legs, put my arms across like this, and just sort of just wait.
you still smell the wet dog,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear from behind you, "What the fuck are you doing here, Leech?"
I'm just enjoying the night air. Why don't you have a seat with me?
Why don't you leave before I tear your head off?
Why would you do something like that?
You just hear the growl from behind. And a man walks around the bench. He's about 3 meters from you at all times. He looks like a biker type, long hair and a ponytail, very, very large beard. And the wet dog smell is coming from him. And you hear the beast inside your head. Just leave, man. Just get the fuck out of here. This is dangerous and not the fun kind.
Hmm. I'd like to just look at him. May I use Sense the Beast?
Yes.
Real quick.
Yes,
It's
you may.
probably unnecessary. I'm gonna have to look up what it does again. It doesn't say in the discipline section.
Um,
I can go ahead and roll for it though.
you get like different things. You can detect rage and hunger and all those kinds of things.
Like hostility and stuff like that, right?
Aggression.
Yeah. It's probably probably unnecessary roll, but thought I'd just go for it.
2 and a bestial failure. You are running. Your beast takes control
makes
again.
Sense. That makes sense.
And you start running away from this thing, unless you want to spend another willpower.
Is there any kind of roll I could make to see, like, if there's some experience with what I'm assuming to be a Garu, that if me running is just going to make the situation worse, or if there's a way that I can just sort of ease my way out of the situation? Like, if I were to spend the willpower, would I know?
It's quite apparent to you that it's probably its territory, and the reason why it's not outright tearing your head off without anything is because there are people around.
Oh, there's people around.
Yeah, there are a few people here and there, but someone would notice if a big bad wolf start tearing your head off.
I gotcha.
But yeah, you are very fast, faster than you have ever been, and you're just running out the park right now.
Okay.
And when you reach the edge of it, you calm down again, and you get back in the driver's seat.
I stole this car. Can we just have it that I did or something? I'll do a roll for it, but I did.
No, I meant the driver's seat in your own head.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Oh man, that got deep for a second.
And then we are gonna jump to Killjoy again. She sits down. She opens her purse. It's quite a large purse. And she pulls out a folder. She looks at you and says, "Where the rest?"
The rest?
The coterie.
We're not a coterie.
It depends on who you ask, but I get you. But we might need them.
Here? Or to meet?
To meet. It doesn't have to be here if you're not comfortable with it.
I'm perfectly comfortable saying I'm not comfortable with them here. How friendly are you with Henry?
As friendly as someone can be with a Nosferatu.
Good to know.
I mean, they're reliable when you pay. But they also know things they shouldn't.
Right.
Tell you what, I'm gonna tell you what the job is, and you can decide if you want them involved or not.
Well, you came to me, so I'm assuming it has something to do with my skills, rather than, for instance, the ones that our ass-kissing king might be able to be more steady-handed with.
Depends on the approach you want to take. She opens the folder and she pulls out a picture of a man. It's in his 50s or something like that. It's taken from a distance, almost like a paparazzi photo. He has guards around him, so he must be someone important. And I'm trying to find the name here.
I was going to say I might recognize him. I don't know.
If you want to, you can do an intelligence politics roll.
Sure. Why not?
One.
A single.
You're not familiar with him. But he is... Adrian says, this man is Charles Dawson. He's a man of parliament. And
He will look so boring.
through a bit of espionage, I have figured out that he is funding Antigen. I have also figured out where he's gonna be in a week.
I see. Well, I have his name. What? You want me to kill him?
Yes, and he has something that I want as well. Something wouldn't be good for any of us if it saw the light of day.
Very well.
His personal briefcase. He's going to stay at the very top floor of the Shard next Friday.
Okay. And that's the only place you know he's going to be, the Shard.
He's not in Britain at the moment. I have coerced some of his people to get me this information. But it's most definitely he's going to be there. At the very top floor. There are only 2 entrances. I don't know how familiar you are with the Shard. It used to be ours, so to speak.
Yes.
It used to be Queen Anne's Haven, actually.
Hence my avoidance of it.
There is an elevator in the lobby. There's still a Ventrue symbol on it. Very discreet. And there's an elevator in a sub-basement, a secret basement, that you can get into through the parking lot. But those are the only 2 entrances to the penthouse itself. Unless you can fly. I'm not sure how adept you are with a rifle, but making a shot from a downward angle is going to be hard. It's the tallest building in London, and there are obviously hotels.
There's no other vantage point. You cannot take a shot from an equal level of the Shard unless you're in a helicopter.
And you will need a very special bullet to get through that glass.
Not a special bullet, you need a missile. This is not a stealth kill. We were to kill him there, which means we will not kill him there if I even take this job, which I'm not sure I will do, given the profile of the man who I seem to be attacking. I need some immediate and intrinsically powerful payment, inspiration, whatever you'd like to call it.
You would get a major boon from Prince Bradford himself.
Prince Bradford.
Well, he's starting to call himself that.
And if there's multiple people who are starting to call themselves ruling names, that doesn't mean that any of them are actually ruling. And even if they do, that doesn't mean they're ruling the city, so which is...
He's still an elder.
Yes, I just have an issue with Prince.
But no issue with killing.
No, of course not.
This man is the reason why they have the resources they have to kill us. And he knows what we are.
He knows what you are. You know what I am. And therein lies the problem.
I'm not quite sure what you mean.
Exactly. This is the issue that I have with you. As the Camarilla. As this wonderful... It's just strangely, charmingly naive about your own structure. That there are... You think and have said that there are only perhaps 20 of us left. And are apparently aware and apparently blind of the same thing, which is why I asked you how well you knew Henry.
The Nosferatu are hard to get to know. We all have our part to play. I understand what you're saying. I have lost many things as well. I don't know if you heard the stories about what happened a few years ago. I lost a child. And I'm also being pushed around. We all have our part to play. And if we don't, we get to greet the sun. You know how they operate.
Why haven't you left London?
I have a job to do, and I'm the only one who can do it.
What's that job? Tell me.
Espionage.
Such as?
Finding out things like this.
I see. Because if London falls, then what? The rest of the UK falls? Are we a pinnacle, a cornerstone?
We're the center of the world, dear.
I've lived here for most of my life, and even I don't believe that.
I quite like London.
As do I. I quite like living.
But with Mithras and Antigen, it's become quite uncomfortable to live here. And I feel like this is the center of it. And if we don't do anything about it here, it's just going to spread to Europe and eventually America. I'm not asking you to do this out of some sense of obligation or loyalty or anything like that. It's simply a trade. I'm willing to pay you something for a job. You don't have to take it, of course, and you have 6 days to prepare and give me your answer, and I will obviously help you in any way I can. If you wish to scout out the building, I might even have a way in. You know my clan have a thing with mines and making people forget.
Mine does as well.
Let me ask, what is it that you want then?
I want my secrecy back. I want to know that when the Camarilla falls, the present Camarilla as it is in the city, that they will not know where I am and where I will have moved to and set up. I want that secrecy again. I am adept at creating some of it for myself, but you know Henry.
He's
Bed buddies in espionage and that aspect with the Nosferatu. I want you to ensure my secrecy. Do you understand?
That would require a chain of boons. Because you would have to pay Henry more than people can pay him for information about you. To keep his mouth shut.
That is fine.
But the right price? You know how they are. They're not really loyal. They're loyal to themselves.
I know.
But think on it, dear. I could make you do it, but I'm not gonna.
I know. Perhaps I will conduct a feasibility study of this. The Shard is a dangerous place to assault, but the streets outside less so. There are train stations nearby as well. Getting in and out and seen.
So you're suggesting he should be taken out on the way there?
Yes, to try and kill him in the Shard would be very difficult. Unless we were simply dropping the elevator.
I will have to figure out if it's done during the daytime then.
Well, I had assumed not. Otherwise, my skills could be as powerful as the Lord Jesus Christ's, and I would not be able to touch him.
Oh, I mean the traveling from the airport to the shot. If it's done by the day, then we can't do it anywhere else. But I understand your hesitation. But
He'll leave at some point, and if not, we'll find a way to make him leave.
think on it. I respect you.
As well.
Come again?
Perhaps before you go as well, to rudely interrupt you. It's fun to throw you off kilter sometimes. I would accept a down payment on this, if you wished to be assured of this, rather than have it hung in the air and look for someone else to try and fulfill this.
I want the best to do it.
Am I the best?
You are, currently.
You will accept the down payment.
What do you need?
Just some blood. Some of yours.
Are you sure?
Quite.
You're gonna be bound to me.
Not tonight. I want it just before.
That can be arranged.
Excellent.
I don't have anything to lose.
I have lots to gain. I find the older the better. And though it's never wise to guess a woman's age,
I'm not
I
as
know
old as
this
you
will be
think.
strong. Older than me, though, I'm sure.
That can be arranged. Let me know when and where. She hands you a card. It's a tailoring company, of all things. Her name is not on it, but yeah, it's just a la dresses. So yeah, her name is on it in a sense, but
Okay. We will be in contact.
oh, also a gift. She pulls out her purse. 6 phones, satellite phones. And she says these are all encrypted. If you wish to have a way to converse in between you guys without anyone listening.
Excellent. I take them. And I'll just say, I trust that you haven't tampered with them in any way either.
No, of course not.
Good to know.
That's not my expertise. But they were quite expensive, so I assume they're very well encrypted.
I will have a look myself.
Feel free to do so. If you find anything, please tell me so I can hit whoever sold me them in the head.
That I would like to see. But until then, I trust that you will have a good night.
You too, Mr. Jones. She kisses you on the cheek, and she goes upstairs. And we jump to JK. JK, you step into the void. And you need to roll a resolve and oblivion.
Oh. That does not bode well. Wait, Four successes.
4. You're not harmed by it. You feel there's no air in here. It's very cold. Your joints are very stiff in here, but you can still move. You imagine that this is what it feels like almost to be in outer space. Almost. Not as cold though. The void dissipates around you. You see a train station and a semi-transparent train. There are people walking in and out. It looks like a normal train station except with ghosts. And the train is currently parked, and you feel the pull still and it's coming from the train.
Is there anyone else around that seems to not be of the incorporeal?
No, they don't even seem to notice you. They're passing right through you, around you.
Oh, but is there anyone else who doesn't seem to be a ghost around?
Not as far as you can see at the moment. It's pretty packed down here.
Okay. JK's gonna move closer to the train then, try to find out what is trying to pull him.
As you walk inside, the train door closes behind you, and the train starts to drive, leaving the station.
Is it like an actual door? Oh,
It's
Lord.
just a ghost train. It's physical and everything. You can touch the walls. They feel cold and everything. But you see a man, a black robed man almost. He has a shadowy aura, and he's wearing a skull mask. Sitting. He's the only one in there who's not ghostly, who's not transparent. Very out of place. He's looking at you. You feel like you can't see his eyes because he's wearing the mask.
JK is just gonna like hold his briefcase close to him. And is there any way to tell what direction the train is going at all?
Nope. I mean, horizontally. It's not vertical.
Fair.
It's just pitch black outside. When you see something, it's completely withered, rusted, or worn down.
Okay. JK will sit down somewhere and
The seat in front of him is currently not occupied.
then JK will sit there and try to keep his mind sharp somehow.
My child, after a century you finally found me.
Okay. He's just dumbfounded, a bit confused.
Beneath the mask is just blackness. Black eyes. You've seen people use Oblivion Sight before. It looks that way.
Okay.
I'm sure you have questions.
Quite a few, yes. First being, where are we going?
Through the plains of shadow.
Lovely. JK is just gonna pull out his brick phone and as fast as he can like try to type out a message.
It's
to
not
Neo.
on.
Oh, lovely. That's not gonna work.
You can't even turn it on.
Huh.
It seems like it's been drained of battery.
That's no good.
If you have anything, any other electrical devices on you, they're out as well.
That was the one. Why haven't you called on me previously to this night?
I couldn't.
What do you mean?
I have been trapped. The night I embraced you, you walked in a very special place. A place where the shroud was thin. I could pull you in, but just for a moment. I'm sorry, my child. It's not how I meant it to be.
Well, that's how it's been for 100 years.
I'm proud of you.
Why? You have... Do you even know what I've been up to the last decade? The last 8 decades, for that sake?
Only glimpses.
Then what changed now?
The years passed. I gathered my strength. And you found the train station.
Yes?
I
Surprised.
can only leave for a brief moment.
And so you're taking me to Oblivion?
Don't worry, you'll be back. I need you on the other side.
Lovely.
Introductions are in order, I think. My name is Albert. Albert Bancroft.
Johan. Or Johan.
I know.
That's not surprising.
I am trapped in here. The Giovanni. Beware of them. They are betrayers. They are usurpers. They are the enemy.
If it helps, I believe a big chunk of them got eliminated not long ago.
That warms my dead heart, but does not solve my problem. I need you to break the shroud.
How would I go about doing that?
Training, experience, develop your abilities. With the shadows, it can be done. Just as I was thrown in here, I can be pulled back.
That is a terrifying idea, but why would I do that? I have nothing to gain from you just reappearing in the mortal world.
I would owe you. You need a sire. I can protect you. I can guide you. I can teach you. I can help you resurrect the one you love. The first thing you need is find a way to communicate. He hands you a signet ring. With it's very plain silver with a stamp on it almost, or a sigil. It's just it's a mask. You've seen it before. Something in your bloodline. You need this to contact me once you leave.
Okay. He'll take the ring and put it in his briefcase.
There is a ceremony.
Okay. Will you teach me how to communicate with you then? Seeing as you're not able to enter the mortal plane.
I can try. I will send someone.
Sure. A wraith or...
Yes. Well, sort of. I prefer banshees.
Huh. Sure. Yeah, that works. Well, may I ask, why are you... How did you end up on, well, the other side, metaphorically speaking and literally?
I was betrayed, and a Giovanni threw me in here. And I could not break through the shroud. I need you to break it from the other side. Or find the one who did this and convince him to pull me back.
I'll do my best.
It's quite a task I've given you, and I'm patient even if it should take you hundreds of years.
Well, let's try not to make it that far away in the future, shall we?
Hopefully not. I long for the world of the living. I have not eaten anything but wraiths in 100 years.
The world has changed a lot since you were last walking.
I have seen it through your eyes.
Good to know.
Only glimpses.
Well, the world is a lot different. London has essentially fallen. There are handfuls of vampires left.
They must be dealt with. If you can, seek out the one called Roger the Camden. He is one of us. If he is still around.
Do I recognize the name at all?
Oh, I'm thinking if you're told. Do I think a intelligence and occult, and I'll give you +1 because he's of your bloodline.
Five.
5. You've not only heard of him, you've heard a lot about him. You heard he's affiliated with Mithras. You've heard he's at least 1,000 years old. You know he's very, very powerful. And as far as you've heard, he's currently, if not already, the Prince of Edinburgh.
Okay. Okay. I'll see what I can do in taking contact with him. I believe he's still around, at least.
That is good to hear. Time is short. Is there anything else you need, my child?
No. I'll start work as soon as I can.
I am looking forward to hearing from you again.
Likewise.
Protect the ring. If you lose it, we can't communicate.
I will.
Keep it where you keep her.
I will.
And he gestures towards the door, and you hear the doors open. It's a very old train, so there's no ding dong or anything like that. It's just you hear the screeching of the doors being opened.
Did the train stop?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
the ghosts are leaving the train and entering the train. You still hear all the whispers in your head.
JK's just gonna leave and try to get out of whatever building he's in as fast as possible.
As you step out, it's the same thing. You step through a black void, and you exit, and you're standing in a graveyard. You step out. When you look back, it's a mausoleum behind you, but there is no
Fitting.
door anymore. And when you touch it, it's solid stone. The folder is still on the table. It has various information in it, including a map of the area in London. And that I want to try something and see how that works out. So, because I'm trying to integrate Roll20, so let me try this. There we go. Haha. Then the audience should be able to see as well. This is just a map of London. I'm going to do this. So this is the map you currently have.
Yeah.
Oh, there's McDonald's.
The shard is of course
buddy.
there's the shard is here.
England, baby. We got McDonald's.
You can see the ping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not on the same page on the Roll20, but we can see your screen.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna drag you. There we go. Just for the sake of. There are obviously various points you could shoot from, but being the tallest building in London, it's gonna be a difficult thing to do. And as you said, it's probably you need something that can elevate you, if that's the approach. But you were quite aware of bulletproof glass and everything.
Yeah.
So I imagine you're sitting and looking this over at the moment, Killjoy.
Yeah. Radio in and then start to look at the documents, see what's come in, see what info he has.
Alex, there's no response from him.
Okay.
and if you look into it, he's having a concert tonight, which is why he's not answering.
Got you. Well, Killjoy's lived this long on his own. He has some idea of how to find people. And he knows where the rebellious Vista is.
Yes.
And so at some point he'll try and meet by getting there and getting people to come there. Or meet somewhere.
Then I'm just gonna ask you as players, did you exchange phone numbers at any point?
Yes.
Yes, I think we did before we followed Alex.
That's up to you guys.
I know Naomi definitely has yours, and I know that we have Naomi's.
Mm-hmm.
As well.
At some point at least, you get in contact with them and you let them know where you're going. I'm just gonna jump back real quick because this is only something we're gonna use when it becomes relevant, and if it's for planning.
Also check out the satellite phones that Adrian dropped off.
Yeah.
Just make sure that they're okie dokie.
1 second.
I do not trust these people.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I really shouldn't.
So the phones. Let's do a. It's something with technology for sure. I'll let you decide which stat you use, which mental stat.
Intelligence, resolve.
Either.
Great. I've got a special covering tracks. Probably not. 3 successes.
3 is
and
good.
A potential bestial failure, but I'm assuming.
No,
I'm hoping.
It's good enough. At the moment, they're heavily encrypted and they can only call each other. These 6 phones.
Oh, okay. So they're broken.
Perhaps the encryption could be broken so you can call other phones, but right now it's only these 6 phones they're connected to.
Okay. Yep, I will. I'll put them in bag 1 and take bag 1 with me.
Yes.
Take the contents of bag
1. Vaughn, you had something you wanted to do, correct?
Oh, he was just we can what we can do is he gets like a notification to meet, and he's on top of a building in a Buddhist style meditation pose, like on the edge with his eyes closed, and he's just kind of like going over he's basically having a conversation with his beast. And just trying to quell it, because it definitely took over in that moment, and it's something that he tries to avoid, knowing that he's a little bit weaker in that regard. So he's going over it. Then you hear like, you know what I mean? And he looks over at it, and then picks up the phone, does a little messages back like okay, something like that.
Mate,
would you call?
Mate, we should eat.
I wonder if we can pass.
There are people on the streets.
Yeah.
Just pick one. I'm not picky.
But I have control this time, all right? Like you don't jump out again, all right?
If you say so.
Like keep it in check.
That's your job.
I guess you're right. Sends the text, jumps off the building, and it'd go in like an alleyway, like land down an alleyway.
If you want to feed on the way, just do a hunting roll.
Okay. Come on, come on.
3 is plenty.
Okay.
You find someone who is attracted to you, and you get near them close enough so you can drink, and just leave them in their trance. How many do you want to take?
Preferably down to 1, because I think this will be a pretty discipline-intensive experience, probably.
They are. If you take 2, they're not gonna be standing. It's not harmful to them, but they're gonna be sitting in the alley when you leave.
The person I pull, what are they like? Because if they seem like a vulnerable person, but if I pull someone who's like definitely thinks they're like hot shit or something like that, like it'd be.
I would say it's up to you.
Yeah, I kind of go for someone who's a bit more bougie.
Yeah.
Probably someone who needs a little bit of humble pie, a little bit. And probably maybe are treating me a little bit like I'm just, a commodity to them or something like that. And so, yeah, I kind of... a good hour and a half nap in the dirt, I think was fine for them until they recover. So I'll go ahead and take 2 from them.
Yes.
Thank you very much. You are very merciful.
And
very generous.
JK, you are at the graveyard right now. Your affinity with graveyards. It's the Tower Hamlet Cemetery that you stepped out in. It's closed. It's a nature park, and it's closed at night. And in the distance, in between the trees and everything, you see a flashlight. Probably security.
I will try to get away from this graveyard somehow.
And you feel your pocket. Zzz, zzz. Your phone is back on.
Huh.
And it's a message from Killjoy saying to meet at the Fist.
Okay. He'll try to get out of the graveyard somehow.
You can jump a fence or simply just walk out of the gate. If you want to do it stealthily, you will have to make a either Dex and Stealth or Wits and Stealth or Composure and Stealth roll.
He'll try to jump a fence somewhat stealthily.
I would say Dex then.
Yeah. One success.
Well, you start climbing it. You get over it, but you get noticed. But you're already on the other side of the fence and starting to move away, but you hear someone shouting after you.
He'll just run off.
Yeah, he's just shouting for you to wait. But you are gone. And hopefully they didn't see you. At least what you look like. The light didn't shine on you. They just saw a person jumping the fence. Are you heading straight to the bar or going anywhere before?
Heading straight to the bar, but right after getting away from the graveyard, he's going to pull out the signet ring and put it on. Just for safekeeping.
It fits, strangely enough.
That is spooky.
At least in one finger.